This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to answer the question, is GBTC a safe investment? This is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. If you're interested in learning how to make money in both bull and bear markets, or you just want to see what I'm trading or investing in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button as well so you'll be notified when a new video comes out. So as Bitcoin has begun to really make a run and break out, I've been getting more and more questions about GBTC. This is an easy way for people to purchase Bitcoin. But as you're going to see in this video, it's not the way that I like to purchase Bitcoin for various reasons. We're going to go into all those reasons right now. Now, one of the biggest reasons is the fees that it charges. It charges a 2% fee, which doesn't seem like much, but it actually that actually is a quite high fee. You can think about it, for example, if you're thinking about Bitcoin as at least a 10-year investment, as I am, over 10 years, you'll end up paying, call it 20% in fees. I expect Bitcoin to go to $100,000 in the next 12 to 18 months. And when it goes to 100K, if you're holding Bitcoin through GBTC, you're going to be paying $2,000 a year in fees. Now, a lot of people say, well, I'll just jump in GBTC, and when it goes up to 100K, I'll be very happy, and I'll just take profits, and I won't have to pay all these fees. But these fees are charged on these fees are accrued on a daily basis. So every day you hold it, you pay some fraction, call it it's probably calculated something like 2% divided by 360 or 365 days, and it accrues. So you do end up paying the fee across all holding periods. I eventually expect Bitcoin, probably by sometime after 2024, to go to $1 million per Bitcoin. I know that sounds crazy, but check out my other videos on it. When Bitcoin goes to $1 million, you're going to be paying $20,000 a year in fees if you own GBTC. I own Bitcoin itself. I'm not going to be paying anything in fees, and that allows me to hold it much longer as well. The next thing I don't like about GBTC is it trades at a premium or discount to where Bitcoin itself is trading. So what this is a trust, which is a particular legal formation or legal structure. And GBTC will trade, it occasionally trades at a discount to Bitcoin, but it normally trades at a premium. Right now we can see the premium is 20%. What this means is that if Bitcoin's at 10,000, that this will be trading at 12,000 for GBTC. Now this sort of premium or discount can move around. So for example, back in 2017 when Bitcoin hit 20,000, GBTC actually hit 40,000. It was trading at 100% premium to Bitcoin. So if you buy GBTC and the premium stays the same or goes up, you're very happy. Of course, we have no way of knowing when or if this will happen. But if you buy it, there could be a situation where you buy GBTC at a premium to Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin doesn't go anywhere for a while and you want to get out, and then the premium collapses from 20% to 10%, even though the underlying price of Bitcoin is not moved, your GBTC will have gone down. So that's another thing I don't like. You're paying a premium for something, and you're paying this premium basically, the main argument for GBTC, apart from the fact that it's very easy to buy, you just can buy it in a brokerage account, is that it's eligible for tax advantage accounts like IRAs and Roth IRAs. So it makes it very easy to hold it that way, and that really sucks a lot of people in, as well as the fact that people are a little bit intimidated when it comes to figuring out how to store their Bitcoin. If you just buy Bitcoin, where do you store it? At least if you buy it in a trust, they store it for you. So those are the main arguments in favor of GBTC. But what I'm about to show you is that apart from the fees and apart from the fact that it can trade at a big discount or even a big premium or even a discount to Bitcoin, there are security problems as well. You're basically trusting GBTC. You're trusting, first of all, that they actually have Bitcoin that backs up this trust, that backs up GBTC. They probably do, but again, we don't know. There's been a lot of fraud in the financial markets over the last 20 years, and you just never know. Maybe if they're having trouble getting Bitcoin, maybe the trust is only collateralized 80% or 90%. You just never know until there's a run on the trust, and then the question is, do they have enough Bitcoin to redeem your shares and give you cash? So this could be a problem. Another version of this problem is that the trust. So this is basically the SEC filing for GBTC. And I'm going to be looking under risk factors here. I'll link to this so you can look at it too. Basically, the first risk factor, the trust's loss of access to its private keys or experience of data loss relating to the trust Bitcoins could adversely affect an investment in the shares. So if their Bitcoin gets hacked, if it gets stolen, you're basically out of luck. You have no recourse. So you're really trusting this big company to hold your Bitcoin for you. You're trusting that they actually have Bitcoin there. You're also trusting that this trust and the place where they're storing the Bitcoin will not be hacked. Now, the problem with this is GBTC is a big honeypot. If you're a thief, if you want to go after hundreds of millions or billions of dollars of Bitcoin, you know where to go. And you know where to go because they also tell you where it's custodied. If we scroll down here, let's see, robust security and storage. It's basically held, your Bitcoin will be held by the Coinbase Custody Trust Company. Now, this is a regulated trust company under New York law, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is when you actually go and look at Coinbase Custody, they have a limited insurance policy. So they're only insured up to 255 million versus 255 million of Bitcoin. So if more than that gets stolen, or if the damages are more than that, more than 255 million per incident and overall, then you're out of luck. So you could have a situation where GBTC gets hacked, the Bitcoin gets stolen out of Coinbase Custody where it's being stored, and then Coinbase Custody, maybe a couple billion gets stolen. Coinbase Custody's insurance policy is only 255 million, and so you're out of luck. The insurance doesn't cover it. GBTC doesn't care because they've been collecting a 2% fee from you forever, and your Bitcoin is gone, and GBTC's price then will have gone down a lot. So they can lose their Bitcoin, they can have their Bitcoin stolen or hacked. And the other thing to point out that a lot of people don't realize is that this trust is not subject to FDIC insurance, which is a form of insurance on banking accounts in the US, up to 250,000 or 500,000 per couple. SIPC is sort of the US insurance for stock accounts, for equities, for brokerage accounts. But Bitcoins held in the trust, they're not covered by any of these types of insurance as well. So if they get hacked, if Coinbase gets hacked, and obviously Coinbase Custody may be the biggest honeypot in the entire world. If again, the Bitcoin protocol has never been hacked, but if you don't hold your private keys, it's not really your Bitcoin. If you buy GBTC, you basically are buying a Bitcoin IOU, a Bitcoin paper security or digital security, and there may or may not be Bitcoin behind it. And if that Bitcoin is lost, you're out of luck. So what I prefer to do is I prefer to buy my Bitcoin on Coinbase. I use Coinbase Pro. You can just ask them to upgrade you for a lower commission. And then I immediately withdraw the Bitcoin after purchasing it, and I withdraw it and hold it on a hardware wallet like the Trezor or the Cold Card wallet. And I like both Trezors. I like the model, what is it called? The Model 1 that has or the Model T that's got the nicer screen. I have no, not being compensated by Coinbase or Trezor. I'm just a happy customer of both. The other thing you can do is if you want to hold Bitcoin in your tax advantaged account in your IRA, you can also check out what Vulcan Trader did in this video. He's got a very clever way of holding Bitcoin in an IRA and paying much lower fees. This way of doing it is a lot more work, but at least you know your Bitcoin is much more secure because you will hold your private key. So I'll be sure to link to that as well as linking to this video where I talk about how to buy Bitcoin using Coinbase and using a Trezor, I believe, as well. So I would just conclude by encouraging everyone to get in the Bitcoin spirit. If you're interested in Bitcoin, if you've decided to buy it, and again, none of this is investment advice. It's a risky investment. It could go to zero. I think it's more likely to go to 100,000 or 1 million. But basically, the whole point of Bitcoin is to take control of these things, to begin to maybe slowly, you don't have to do everything at once, but slowly begin to assert your monetary sovereignty. We become very soft as a culture. We're used to being taken care of by everyone. We're used to trusting banks. And I would suggest that over the coming decade, this is not going to be a very smart thing to do. You're going to want to get outside the current financial system as much as you can, because basically the current financial system is not trustworthy. The Federal Reserve is not to be trusted. They're constantly printing new money, devaluing the money that's in your pocket. Obviously, the federal government's not to be trusted. I mean, I don't know who would trust them at this point. Not to say all the people in the government are bad, but as an institution, its incentives are completely screwed up. It has too much debt. It's monetizing that debt using the Fed, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, the banking system, you're covered by SIPC insurance if you're in the banking system, or FDIC insurance, but the banking system is a highly leveraged system. It's in bed with the Federal Reserve. It's just not a good place, not a good place to be. And so if you're buying physical gold, you really defeat the whole purpose if you store it with a regular traditional custody company or store it at a bank. Likewise, if you buy Bitcoin through GBTC, or you just buy it on Coinbase and leave it on the exchange, you're not really taking full advantage of what Bitcoin allows you to do. It allows you to completely control your financial future. You don't have to depend on the Federal Reserve. You don't have to depend on who's president next or what rules Congress is going to pass. You control your monetary sovereignty. And if you buy something like GBTC, where you're being charged fees by sort of a traditional company, you're storing it in a New York banking system custody trust company, you're not really taking full advantage. And you don't really own Bitcoin. You own a Bitcoin IOU. So I would encourage everyone, take small steps. Again, Bitcoin is risky. It can go to zero, so don't invest in anything that you don't want to risk. But maybe start with $5 or $10, get a Trezor, buy some Bitcoin on Coinbase, move it over to Trezor. Just get a feel for how it works. And if you mess up, which you might, it can be a little confusing at first, the most you'll be out is $5 or $10. But I would encourage everyone to learn how to use these tools. Once Bitcoin is at 100,000 or 1 million, you're going to want to know how to use these tools because if you invest now, I presume and I believe that you'll have a lot more money that you'll be needing to store, a lot more Bitcoin that you'll be needing to store, and you'll want to be able to do it securely and with confidence. Please hit that subscribe and like button. If you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that bell button as well so you get notified whenever I put out a new video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.